Welcome to the Fit Vegan Podcast, the show where we help you optimize your health, fitness, and mindset on a whole food, plant-based lifestyle. My name is Maxime Sigouin. I am a former triathlete, powerlifter, bodybuilder, and basketball player, and I've been vegan for over 9 years. I'm also the founder and CEO of Fit Vegan Coaching, which has helped over 500 vegans from 20 different countries to completely transform their bodies and their health. I'm excited for you to hear today's episode. Let's get into the show. I'll share some things with you, Jennifer, because it's your first day today. I'll give you some few pieces of advice because there's multiple of you guys that started today. The hardest part about being successful in a transformation, in a fat loss and a body recomp transformation, isn't the workout, isn't the nutrition, right? It's actually doing them. Because if you do them, you get the result, right? So therefore, the exercise and nutrition isn't the issue because you have a plan to do. But can it get you to stick to the plan is what shows up, right? So self-sabotage, limiting belief, stress from the day. If you narrow down all the things that could affect your compliance to training and nutrition, they all come back to one core thing. That's emotions, right? Limiting belief, self-sabotage, emotions, stress from the day. What gets you to make the wrong decision when you had a stressful day and you can justify ordering vegan pizza and a glass of wine? Emotions, right? It's how we react to the circumstances around us, ultimately, whether that are internal, like self-sabotage and limiting belief, like, oh, I don't deserve to be this lean. I don't deserve to feel this good. And then we kind of mess it up on our side. Or externally, where it's external stressor from work, relationship, family, whatever it may be that shows up, travel, family gatherings, all of these things. So fundamentally, the main thing that you want to happen, and why we work so hard on mindset in the program, the reason why we have these calls, why we talk about mindset in your one-on-one forums and your check-ins and the conversations, is if you have the ability to remove the emotion from the process, it's game over. You're going to crush any goal that you want. But that's why it's so hard for people to reach their goal, not only in fat loss and health, but in any other area of life, is we let our emotions get the best of us. So I share that with a member that wants to lose a pretty significant amount of weight, right? And she's like, it's just like all these things show up. I'm like, what are all these things? I'm like, they're all emotions, right? I was like, if you can realize that they're just emotions and those are creating thoughts about potential futures that haven't happened yet, if you can just know externally that those are not what's happening right now, this is just a thought or projection of the future, and just be able to pull back and remove yourself from the emotion, then you'll be able to do what you need to do, right? So in her form, she said, don't think, just do. She's like, I'm going to repeat myself the mantra of don't think, just do, all right? And if you can fall in love with the repetition motion of prepping the food, eating the food, and working out, because when you bring it down to its simplest form, that's literally what it is, right? Regardless of whether you're in the program or not, you have to eat food. No one lives a really long time without eating food, right?
Yes.
Unless you're into the whole breatharian things that get their energy from the sun and they don't have to drink water and all that. We're not at that level yet, right? So most of us have to eat food to be able to be healthy and live a long time. So you have to eat food. All we're doing is just changing what that food is. And the reason why that's hard for most people is because it's emotional, right? If you look at it from an external point of view, it's this food or this food. There's nothing emotional about them. But depending on your previous story and your relationship with food, and if you have a history of yo-yo dieting, or if you had an eating disorder growing up or whatever it may be, it'll be emotional to just change these two things. But they're very logical swaps, right? It's like, instead of eating this energy, eat this energy. That's literally what we're doing.
Okay.
And then same thing for the exercise. So if we can learn to just be like, remove ourselves from the emotion and just do the action and just repeat that, everyone will have an amazing transformation. Right? But then the work that needs to be done, which is what most people don't think of when they start a fat loss program, is they think that it's just about training and nutrition. It's not. It's about, I don't like to use the word trauma. I'm gonna use the word trauma lightly, but the trauma that we have in terms of our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with the food that we're consuming, our relationship with how we've lived our life and how we made our decision. that led us to have the specific habits that we have that led everyone to be here in the first place. But now we're trying to get to another level. So there's things that we need to confront internally to be able to go to that next level. That's the real work of transformation. It's not training nutrition, because training nutrition is just swapping out two variables. There's nothing more to it than that. But it's like how we feel about swapping out those two variables. That's the big work. And so that's why as you progress in your journey, Jennifer, and for everyone else that's new, right? For Todd, for Joy, for everyone that's new to the program, and for everyone that's a veteran, like Jeff, I'm sure he's had to deal with that as well. As you progress along, certain things will show up. And sometimes you'll confront them and you'll make the right decisions. And sometimes you'll confront them and then they'll win and you'll make the wrong decisions. But that's okay. Because every time you go up against them, it becomes easier and easier to confront it and make the right decision. That makes sense?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you, Maxime, because someone just came up to me. I'm walking my friend's dog and they were like, "You're looking good, brother." I don't know. So I just wanted to say that. So thank you. It was funny because we're on this call, but sorry for interrupting.
No worries. So I just want to add one last like metaphor to kind of complete that. Like I said, sometimes you'll go up against these internal things that will lead us to have emotional reactions to the nutrition or to the stress or to those other circumstances and make a different decision. But every time you go up against them, it becomes easier to confront them. So the analogy I'll use is video games. You ever played video games before, Jennifer, at one point in your life?
Yes.
All right. So most people have at one point, right? I'm like, I haven't played video game in like over 20 years. Last time I played was like Donkey Kong on like Nintendo 64. It was a long time ago.
Pac-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Pac-Man was a big one. So you know that every time you bumped up a level, the challenges, the obstacle you had to overcome were slightly harder than the previous one, right? And as you progress, it got harder. But the thing is, as you bumped to a new challenge, you wouldn't always get it the first time, right? You get a challenge and you die, and then you have to restart at the beginning, right? But the cool part about video games is on a lot of them, you have like unlimited lives. So every time you die, you just restart at the beginning of the new level. But every time you go through that level, you learn something new, a new tactic, a new strategy somewhere to go slightly higher, to have a higher chance of conquering that level. But you never get it the first time. So you die, you come back, you're like, shit, this guy's going to pop from this side. I need to beat him before I go to the next round, right? And so every time it's just about retrying, because every time you retry, you learn something new. There's a new tool, there's a new strategy, there's a new insight that allows you to overcome that level. And then eventually you overcome that level. You overcome okay, I'm stressed, I'm going to make the wrong decision. You overcome that. And one thing that my mentor shared a long time with me ago was, with new levels comes new devils. So as you bump to a new level and like, yes, I just conquered this aspect of my life that has been, causing me so much pain. As you get to the next level, there's going to be something else that's going to show up.
Yes.
Right. And then it's the same thing. You get to try as often as you want, but every time you try and you die, you restart at the beginning of that level, you get new insights, new tools, new strategies to overcome that level. And then you get to keep doing that. And there's genuinely unlimited amounts of levels. And each level has a new devil. Each level has a new obstacle. And so now what happens is you get to choose at what level you want to stop. There's reasons why some people are choosing to do Ironman races all around the world. There's reasons why people want to do 50 Ironmans in 50 days in a row, right? There's reasons why people want to run marathon. There's reasons why people just want to lose 40 pounds, not have any pain in their joint and feel good. It's a personal preference, right? So there's nothing wrong with what level you stop at. It's not because you go higher in levels that you're better. It's just a personal choice. To me, it makes no sense to do 50 Ironmans in 50 days, right? Like there's other more important things I want to do with my life than to train for that and to do that, right? But for someone, it connects it with them and it was in their brain. They couldn't get it out and they needed to do it, right? James Lawrence, his name's Iron Cowboy. He did that. I think he did 100 in 100 days too. That's another thing he did, 100 Ironmans in 100 days. But, you'll be called to a specific version of yourself. And if that's a level that you want to stop at, that's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I genuinely envy the person more that wants to lose 40 pounds, not have pain in their joints, just eat healthy food and be able to spend time with their family. To me, that's a much better version of fit than I have to kill myself in the gym because I need to do Ironmans. I need to do Ironmans like 10 times a year, for example.
Yeah.
Right. But again, that's their life. That's the level that they choose to go to. It doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's a personal choice. Right. So for you, Jennifer, and for you, Jeff, the level looks different. You also have different chapters of your life, right? The chapter of your life will determine different levels that you're going to be at. If you come in the program and you're in your early 30s, most people are like, I want to get jacked and lean. Right. And then when we coach members that are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, they're like, I just want my body not to hurt and not get injured so easily. Right. Like I want to be stronger. I want to be more, I want more vitality for myself. So
Definitely.
right? So it's just about being clear what it is that you want. And then know that whenever you get to that level, there's going to be a new challenge and that you can overcome that challenge and choose to stay at that level. Right? It's not that you can't go up because you can't conquer it. You've conquered it. You just choose to stay there because this is what you want for yourself. Right? So if you see people in the group chat saying like, I lost 50 pounds so far, I lost 70 pounds, I just got a six-pack for the first time in my life, or whatever wins they share, just know that that's the levels that they're seeking for themselves. Because another big part is comparison kills joy, ultimately. Because sometimes you'll look at other people and you're like, oh, they lost 30 pounds. I'm like, they've been in the program for a lot longer also. And potentially they were way overweight than you were when you started, right? So it's a different journey, different place, different level. So always just keeping that in mind. I think that's a conversation, a recording that I should send to every new member that comes in.
It's a good one.
Right? Does that make sense for you, Jennifer?
Yes. I think that's my biggest problem is overdoing everything. You know, the workout. I definitely overdo too many workouts, like thinking I need more that I really don't. So
yeah,
I got to learn to bring that down.
Right. But it's human nature, right? More must be better.
Yeah.
All right. I think, one thing I'll say is I'm very type A and I'm working on it, and we attract who we are. So we're a lot of type A people in the program. I had a call with someone that was like, I'm not type A at all. And I had a conversation with them. I was like, this is not going to be a good fit for you to be in this program. Like, you're too relaxed. Like, you don't want to do anything. Usually the people that we work with, they want to do too much. And I'm a lot better at bringing people like back down. It's like, hey, let's just be a little bit healthier with this approach. But two things, like there's two types of people. Either you want to do more because you think more is better, or either you want to do more because there's some internal shit in here that we don't want to deal with. And so we use fitness as an escape mechanism. That was me. Okay. That was me for a long time. And I admit it, that's when my ex-partner was going through cancer. Ironman was my way out. Like, I was using that. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. That was my drug. That was my drinking, was training for an Ironman. That was my way of numbing myself to the pain that I had in my life of having my partner going through cancer. So some people are doing extra exercise for that specific reason. It's hard to exercise, but it's so much easier to exercise than to face the internal pain that we have.
Exactly.
Right. So it's like we're running away from something. But the thing is, and I'm here to say as a life lesson for everyone, if you don't deal with the thing inside that's causing you to run away, you will run away for the rest of your life because it'll never go away ultimately. So I'm not saying that that's your story, Jeff. That's not your story, Jennifer, but that's just a recording in general for everyone.
It feels that way though, and it resonates. Like I feel like going to the gym and like making sure my body is able to do that is allowing me to face that thing that that's always so challenging that I'm running away from. I feel stronger to deal with that, and going to the gym helps that thing kind of diminish.
Yeah.
Right. Can I share some really vulnerable insights with you guys?
Sure.
All right. So that's not something I've said publicly yet, but for the past 6 months to a year, I have been so unmotivated to work out and exercise. I still do it because I've been doing it for 18 years at this point. but I've been so unmotivated to work out and do all of that. And here's the reason why. Because when we start off to work out, we think that if I get this body, this weight, or if I fit in these clothes, I'm going to feel better. I'm just going to be more confident. I'm going to show up differently. There's this projection that we have of when we get there, we're going to feel a certain way. Like life's going to just be different when I'm 30 pounds lighter. Life's just going to be different when I have abs, right? But all that it's going to bring you is superficial pleasure that eventually will fade away. And I say this from experience. Yeah. I've been 80 pounds overweight. I've had six-pack multiple times in my life. I've been jacked. I've been ripped. I've been every single body type you can ever think of. Every single one. I've been the big buff dude that can deadlift a Honda Civic, right? I've done all of it genuinely. And to me, it was always that quest of like, oh, when I'm buff, then I'll be confident, then I'll be happy. Oh, when I'm ripped, then people will like me, right? And then you just kind of constantly on that quest. And I've done all the transformation you can think of. And I'm like, I realized many years ago that I just needed to deal with the internal things. And when I was going through the cancer with my ex-partner, I did all the healing stuff that I need to do. Once I healed that, I just lost my drive for being ripped or being jacked. Because I just realized that even though I've done all the transformation, none of it ever gave it to me. And it wasn't until I did the internal work, the healing work, that I was like, that's the thing the whole time, right? I don't need to be jacked or ripped or do all that to feel this good. And so when I continued to work out because I want to be healthy, but like some people's like, when are you gonna do another Ironman? Like when are you gonna like put on like 30 pounds of muscle or go to another six-pack? I'm like, I just don't care as much anymore. I just want to feel good, right? I want to feel good in my clothes. I want to feel good in my body. I don't want my joints to hurt. I'm 6'4". So, a lot of problems comes with being 6'4". Your back is one of those things. Like, I just want to feel good. And so I just want to provide you guys that insight from someone that's done all the transformations, that getting to that end goal will be awesome. And you're going to be super proud of yourself. And the main part that's going to happen is you will have a true level of confidence, because there's fake confidence, right? There's fake confidence of like, I got nice clothes, nice cars, and all that stuff. But then the real confidence comes when you say you're going to do something and you actually do it, and you actually fulfill on your promise, then you know that you can do anything that you say you're going to say. That's true confidence right there. It's a game changer. Once you know that, it's game over, and you realize how powerful your words are, and you're very cautious about what you take on. Because if you take it on, it's game over. You're going to reach it. That's true confidence. And you guys will get that once you reach your goal, because you'll have proven to yourself, either for the first time in your life or, that you can actually do it properly. Right. And that's the beautiful part about reaching your goal, which I'm excited for all of you. But I also know that once you get your goal, if there's something inside that you're not confronting, it won't solve any of it. Right. Because you'll just reach for another goal after. You'll just look for something else after. Right. Just a little vulnerable share with you guys. Because not saying all of you guys have that, but we're humans. So I think a lot of us have that.
Yeah. Very helpful.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I feel like I sprinted to my goal and essentially hit it. I feel like 2 months ago, physically, right?
Yeah.
Like, of course, I still have like some goals, but I like last month and a lot of mine has shifted to maintaining that, sustaining that, and but what I've realized is that the things that are popping up are tough, because they're my image and my brain doesn't match what I see in the mirror or what other people see, and that's where my work is that I have to figure out how to, essentially love myself, like and see myself in this new way, as opposed to how I was, or and that's been my challenge. And I totally hear you that it becomes a lot more about it stops becoming about like being jacked or whatever.
Yeah,
there's other things that are being uncovered for me because of this whole journey, and it's scary. It's scary. Like, there, a lot of this stuff is really scary to to really have to confront. And I'm grateful I have this community to for support as I move forward.
Right. I told you, this is not a traditional fat loss program. This is a life upgrade, because all those other areas are actual things that we're after, right? The weight is just a way to get there, or at least a way that we think we're going to get there ultimately. But it needs to be a stepping stone in your journey, so you can prove to yourself and then kind of uncover these things that you need to confront. Right. But ultimately, Jeff, like a lot of people, and again, I was in your shoes as well, like a while back, was I need to, how people perceive me and who I am, there's a difference, right? So how do I show people like the true me? But I realized that instead of making an effort to show the true me, I just need to be me. I didn't need to, I just needed to start acting as me instead of actually putting out effort to show them who I was. I'm like, let me just be me. Right. So it's no effort. Ultimately, is just letting go. It's funny. We think that we need to do things to show who we truly are, to kind of improve. But ultimately, it's just about removing the freaking barriers we have in front of us so we can just be us and show up as us, which is the easiest thing to do, to just be you, because it's who you are. But we have these little walls of what people are going to say, or I've had this experience in the past where people made fun of me, or whatever it may be, that are preventing us from being us. So it's not to add things, it's to remove the layers so you can just be you, because you can do all the acting you want, Jeff, and people are going to connect with you in a different way when you're just you, right? Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that so much. It's more of like an uncovering, and like it's literally old walls that are falling. And yeah, I'm deeply, yeah, you hit it right on the head.
Oh, that makes sense, Jennifer?
Yes, definitely.
Cool. We're going deep on your first call.
I'm already looking forward to this journey.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's typically what Mondays are like, is we just talk about real deep life shit. Right. You'll get a lot of the theoretical stuff from Coach Sarah tomorrow, Dr. Joey on Wednesday. And then Thursday with Coach Nicole is more like Coach Nicole is really good at creating a safe space, right? She is a very resilient person. And it's awesome at connecting with people. And then Friday is more of like kind of like a Q&A call. So all of it are like more theoretical connection. The Monday is just like, I need to rethink my life type of energy at the end of it.
Yes.
Good for the start of the week.
Yes. Monday's my favorite.
Exactly. I just want to set you on the right path, right? Because you know how it is. You get busy with life and then you kind of forget about these things, or we just brush them off, or we don't necessarily know that we're brushing them off, but we're just so busy that we don't think of them. And eventually they kind of creep back in ways where you self-sabotage or limiting beliefs when there's an opportunity for you to kind of upgrade your life and you don't go for it, whether that is in, relationship and career or in your health. And so I just like to bring those things at the forefront on the Monday calls. All right. Since I have Jeff here, who's been in the program for a bit now, I've shared this, Jennifer. Again, I'm giving you all the like insights, Jennifer, that you're going to encounter as you progress along. But there's the initial honeymoon phase, which you're definitely in because this is your first day. The honeymoon phase is like, this is exciting. There's a new food, new workout, new structure. I'm starting this new thing. And then maybe like 2 to 3 months in, you're like, oh, this is not like as sexy as it was when it's not as exciting as when I first started, right? But nothing changes because the structure is the same. And so, you're in a relationship, Jennifer, right? Are you in a relationship, Jennifer? Yes. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right? When you meet your partner for the first
I keep
time,
cutting out.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Yeah. So when you meet your partner, it's like new and exciting at first. And as the initial honeymoon phase, and it kind of dies down, you're like, oh, shit's real. Like this person doesn't put their seat down when they go to the bathroom, and then blah, 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 right? Like all the things start to show up. And when you love someone, you kind of like, you make it work. You get past the honeymoon phase. That's when it's more of a serious relationship. So a lot of people, they just get into honeymoon phase and then they leave the relationship. It's not exciting anymore. And get to the new one and to the new one, to the new one. And just ever stuck in that cycle. Same thing for the program. Now it's new and exciting, but there's going to be a point of like, wow, this is repetitive, right? And that's normal, because if you think of it, we're trying to create changes that'll last for a lifetime, not just for the time frame that you're with us. Because I've shared this with everyone. I've been working out for 18 years. If I stop working out for a month and I eat shit food, I'm getting fat, even though I have 18 years in my body of working out and eating healthy, right? There's no like, no one is immune to being fit and healthy for the rest of your life because they have a huge track record. Like, you have to continue. It's very unforgiving. If you slip for a long time, it'll catch back up with you. All right. And so, like, Jeff, I love on your side, because again, you're more of a veteran here. How did you deal with the honeymoon phase kind of ending and transitioning into like, oh, this is reality now?
Yeah. So we're just exiting the first phase of the end of the honeymoon. So like the honeymoon was the first 2 months for me. And at the end of the 2 months, it was like, wow, it was just like amazing. I felt like at a peak. This last phase I just finished was so it was basically on the other side of it now. I learned a lot. That's actually where all my growing happened. I messed up every single week. I didn't track any, like I just New York.
Yeah.
I fell off many different tasks that I had for myself. Like clicking off, like maybe I would drink the water, but I wouldn't click the button of like drinking the water. I basically coming off it, I really had to like figure out what it meant for me to have this be a daily thing, like what it felt like to some days intuitively eat. And it was hard. Like I had injuries, my birthday, trips, all these different things. It felt like one obstacle after another. However, I think the work that I did in the 2 months, because I was really dedicated and like did every single thing recording, it helped me be flexible when I like just had no choice but to be flexible. And now that I'm on this fourth phase, which is the end of my, I guess, like first mega phase, if you will, like the first, I am hitting this one really like almost like a scientist, very precisely. And I understand my body a lot more, like what I can do with it, what makes sense, what's the most efficient thing to do with it. And so that third month after the honeymoon phase where I was messing up, I got a lot of data of the things that like the things that I have tendencies towards. And so the end of the honeymoon phase was hard, but that's where all my growing happened. And now it feels like this is the work. Like I can finally see at the end of this program that I am going to have the tools and the foundation to do the things that I always dreamt of doing, like being able to do with my body and my nutrition, and my fitness and my exercise and my all that. Yeah, it's not just the successes, it's the failures. And if not, the failures of last month are setting me up for even greater successes, believe it or not. And, having this kind of community, make those mistakes and find a path back, just makes it that much easier to grow.
Nice. That's how we learn, by those mistakes.
Yeah. So I think I answered the question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate you sharing that, right? Because that end of honeymoon phase is going to happen to everyone. It's normal. It's like, how do you turn that into your day-to-day life, right? And so Jeff found his way through making those those slip ups and kind of those opportunities to learn, and then turn them into like an easier blueprint for him to have some success. Because, you know, Jeff has a different lifestyle than you do, Jennifer, than, you know, other people have in the program. So as you progress along, you kind of start to mold it to your lifestyle, your level of obligation, your level of availability, and just kind of start to develop your own set of tools, your own set of tricks as you progress along.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, well, I think it was a really powerful call. There's a lot of great points shared on this. Yeah. And any other questions for today before we wrap up the call?
No questions.
Again, I think, Jennifer, like I think, again, not everyone gets this conversation before, so thank you for jumping on the call, but you got some really good insights as to how to progress properly and kind of what's coming ahead of you so that you can prepare for it.
Yeah, definitely. This definitely helps.
Awesome.
No, you know what I mean? No, like I was thinking, like if I get a big gig, I can't wait to be like to have you and your team like take me, you know, if I need to do some like body comp stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just excited. No, I really appreciate you, Maxime, like a lot. You came up to me. I was looking for something like this, and you came at the right time. Like it was literally like magic, and this whole process has been magic. So, yeah. Anyways,
well, I'm happy to
I
have
want to take you. Thank you. That means a lot.
Beautiful. Well, I appreciate you guys giving me the permission, because I think it's going to help a lot of people, because a lot of people don't talk about this stuff online when it comes to fat loss. It's like, you know, stick to your macros, do your training, and then that's it. But no one deals with like the behind the scenes thing. And that's the biggest part. That's what throws people off. It's not like you need to stick with this. Why can't you stick with it? But there's a big reason why most people can't stick with it. It's everything that we talked about today. Yeah. Cool. Well, I appreciate you both. Thank you for jumping on a call on a holiday, because both of you, you know, it's a holiday for both of you. So enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Jennifer, welcome to your first week. Welcome to the world of Fit Vegan. You got a crazy introduction today. Right. And if you guys need anything, just feel free to reach out to me.
Will do. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.